we had left off where I had just finished talking about what was it? Milky, and now I want to get into Kamesh, which is a Moabite deity. This is another deity that was um, mentioned in the Old Testament of the Bible or the Torah, whichever one you want to call it. You can call it the Torah or the Old Testament. And they mention um, they mention Moloch, or the Moabite deity Komesh. You'll find that. Well, I'll just do a breakdown of uh, Kings 3:27, or Second Kings 3:27. Now, lines 12 through 14 is where I want to really focus in on. So, line 12, um, according to archaeological findings um, from other Near Eastern cultures, like the Phoenicians, uh, they do mention that. They throw a spill out about, well, because of indications from Near Eastern cultures. And it's like I said before, you'll find that all through these archaeological findings, which tells me straight up that that's just like, that's bias, is basically it. They really don't have any archaeological findings, but, you know, since their findings, they do have findings from other ancient Near East cultures, and then they'll throw up the Phoenicians. They'll always go back to the Phoenicians. It's the Phoenicians that indicate that child sacrifice was a part of their practices. And this is riddled all um, through these findings. They always go right back to Carthage. If if they believe that there was a deity that worshipped or did human sacrifices, but they didn't have very much evidence of it, they'll always mention Carthage. You know, and like their evidence in Carthage really isn't concrete either. You know what I mean? Um, Now, when it comes to uh, Carthage, the reason why they refer to it is there's inscriptions and burial sites, which is Tophets. They've been found containing urns with cremated remains of infants. Now, these sacrifices were made to Bahamond and Tanit. Those are deities, okay? Now, they do share some similarities to Kamesh in terms of like Near Eastern worship and stuff of that nature. Um, but like I said, in the Levant, there has been no evidence of any Tophets whatsoever being found. Now, a Tophet is like that photo back there in my background, okay, that I have posted up. That's a Tophet. Um, Tophets were not big statues of Moloch Baal, whoever Moloch Baal was, a horned devil with his hand stretched out and fire coming out of his freaking mouth. That's not what it was. This is what they're talking about right there. So, and that is actually a photo that was taken um, by an archaeological uh, an archaeological program that had been taking place. People who were out there actually getting their hands dirty and finding the data. You know what I mean? So you're looking at what it was, what it looks like. Just be aware of that. That's what that is on that photo. Which to me doesn't look anything like what's been described in the Bible or the Torah or whatever you want to call it. And like I said, these sacrifices were made to Baal Haman and Tanit. Okay, and they do share some similarities to Kamish. Now, if you want to find a source for that, I can also post that source. You can find the source with what I just said with Archaeology Magazine. I can post that into the comment sections if you guys wish to check it out yourself. So I'm putting them in there now. Feel free to copy the link and check it out yourself, because like I said, if you want to go down this rabbit hole and start talking about crazy shit, this is what you need to do. You know, don't go walking into this barefooted, because you're gonna get cuts on your feet if you do. So here we go. This is Archaeology Magazine. This is what they have covered over, or they've gone over concerning child sacrifice. It is a pretty interesting read. So I suggest, if you guys are interested, check it out. It's up to you if you want to do that or not. So now we're going to go to line 13. At sites like Carthage, evidence suggests that child sacrifice, children were sacrificed to deities like Baal Haman. This is a common theme that you'll always see, where they refer to like physical inscriptions that are found in Carthage. Okay, and it mentions milk sacrifice, or offering of children, MLK, is what they believe that it means, but there is no definitive proof. They have the MLK inscription on the Tophet. Okay. Now, even though that this is of Phoenician practices, the Moabites were supposed to have worshipped Chemosh, and they are supposed to have had cultural and religious similarities with those other Western Semitic groups. You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing that really ties Chemosh to the Old Testament is this thing that they call the Misha Stele. And the Misha Stele records Moabite devotion to Chemosh, and that's mentioned also in 2 Kings 3:27, which describes King Misha as sacrificing his eldest son as a burnt offering. Okay. Now, according to what you'll hear most people say, they'll try to say that these findings pertain to like different cultures, but they provide like this broader context of understanding and prevalence of child sacrifice in the region. They really think that it does support the notion that similar practices could have been associated with Chemosh among the Moabites. Now, this connects the Carthaginians' evidence with the Moabites' description in the Bible, apparently. You know what I mean? But you need to understand, that's the best biblical evidence of Moabite human sacrifice to Chemosh out of everything. And the thing about it is they don't mention Moloch whatsoever. I mean, it's not even in that verse. It's pretty interesting that they even do that. Now, the thing that really gets it with with the Moabites and Kamesh is 2 Kings 3:26 and 3:27. Okay, and it says, "And when the king of Moab saw the battle was too sore or sour for him, he took with him 700 men that drew swords to break through even unto the kingdom of Edom, but they could not. Then he took his eldest son that should have reigned in his stead, and offered him for a burnt offering upon the wall. And there was great indignation against Israel, and they departed from him and returned to their own land." Now, the passage is supposed to directly describe King Mesha of Moab sacrificing his own son. This is a human sacrifice, likely to Kamesh, according to them, likely to Kamesh, to gain like divine favor in battle. Now, let's point this out though. The Misha Stele doesn't explicitly mention child sacrifice, but it does affirm Kamesh's role in war and the demand for offerings, which they believe implies the possibility of human sacrifice. But there's no evidence that says that. Now, in 2 Kings 3:27, King Mesha sacrifices his son, likely to Kamesh. All right. But after that, you go to Judges 11, 30, 31, and 39, which, while not Kamesh, Jephthah sacrifices his daughter, and has parallels to regional human sacrificial tradition, supposedly. You know what I mean? But understand, this is all written in the Bible, okay? Now, after that, when you go in and you look at the archaeological evidence, they'll always throw Carthage back at you, okay? Instead of them actually having archaeological evidence that backs up these verses in the Bible, they will say, well, archaeological evidence from Carthage suggests child sacrifice was practiced among the West Semitic cultures. Okay, so you need to understand that. This is what the archaeological world is doing. They're always going back to Carthage when they don't have evidence to back up anything that they're saying is true. And you'll see it all through this stuff. They have very flimsy evidence backing up anything that they've said. Now, the Mesha still, like I said, it doesn't mention human sacrifice explicitly, but it does show the warrior god nature of Kamesh. Okay, and because of that, it makes it plausible that Kamesh would require extreme offerings. That's the mentality behind it. Now, the Bible directly states that Mesha sacrificed his son in battle, likely to Kamesh. The Mesha Stele is supposed to confirm Kamesh's role in Moabite religion, but does not specify human sacrifice whatsoever. Okay. Now, archaeology from Carthage, which is a Phoenician site, is supposed to confirm that child sacrifices were common, and that's what they draw off